You know, ever since at least Black Ops 2, the Call of Duty series has fallen into a deep pit of mediocrity. This is what happens when you annualize a franchise. It's going to end up feeling a bit too much of a far cry from its roots, and the game will feel too complex, and while so, you're going to see a lot of corners getting cut. Not to mention the ways the publishers try to extort more and more money from you from various predatory ways. This is the way I felt, especially about Black Ops 4. To that point, it felt like every Call of Duty game after Black Ops 2 was going for some kind of gimmick, because they kind of ran out of ideas. Like the Battle Royale mode for Black Ops 4. It was fun. It was actually really fun, but it was a gimmick. And I think Infinity Ward was starting to get tired of the gimmicks and wanted to start over. And that was what I think brought us the soft reboot, Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Modern Warfare doesn't have exosuits, it doesn't have grappling hooks, it doesn't have a Battle Royale, and it didn't bring us back into World War II to compete against Battlefield 1 after going too far into the future with Infinite Warfare. Modern Warfare takes place in modern times with modern weapons and modern movement. Now, I have a lot to say about this game, but at the same time I don't, because we've played this game before. It's just Modern Warfare, and it's really fucking fun. This is Modern Warfare. If you played Modern Warfare 2, you know what to expect. You see a bad guy, you shoot him, and it's fun. Ramp up the kill streaks, get something fucking dumb, and kill half the people on the map with it. You know, typical Call of Duty stuff. And it's fun. It's a fun arcade shooter. I think what makes Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and especially its multiplayer, work so well is the simplicity. It's just back to the basics. And it's fun basics. So yeah, it's Modern Warfare. People die very quickly. You can kill people very quickly, but you'll also die very quickly. There's a lot of fun game modes, but I usually stick to Domination because that is the most well-designed game mode. There are some game modes that try to go for something new, like Cyber Attack, and you know, those game modes just they just don't feel like Call of Duty. Call of Duty is supposed to be this like fast-paced, non-stop game. Domination and Team Deathmatch work the best for this game. And sometimes Search and Destroy if you want to play a discount Counter-Strike. And Kill Confirmed is also... So it's really fun, but, you know, the pace of Kill Confirmed goes way slower than Team Deathmatch. So if you were expecting a typical multiplayer Call of Duty experience, you got it. And it's fun. It's fantastic. It's really fun. And it can sometimes be addicting. And, you know, it's a good thing when loot boxes aren't involved. Then we get to the weapon balancing. You know, I've always seen the first couple Modern Warfare games, Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2, I've seen those as being unbalanced, but unbalanced in a way that's fun. You know, it's unbalanced, but you can do it too and have fun. But, you know, the weapon balancing in this game, it's just not fun to play with or against. The 725 shotgun is a double barrel shotgun, and it hits in one kill, and it can sometimes hit in one kill at medium ranges, and sometimes even long ranges. I think it got nerfed in a recent update, but, you know, it massively overpowered. It's like a shotgun op, pretty much. And then you got my personal favorite weapon in the game, the P90, which has a higher accuracy. To me, it feels like it has a higher accuracy than the M4A1, the assault rifle. The SMG, I think it's because of the recoil and the stability of the weapon. It's easier to shoot at longer ranges than the M4A1. And, you know, that's a big problem because the P90 is an SMG and the M4 is a assault rifle. So I think it's supposed to go the opposite way when it comes to the ranges. However, the fatal error with the multiplayer is the map design. There are good maps. This map you're seeing right now, Gunrunner, I have a lot of fun on this map. Grozny Raid is probably my favorite map in the game. And, you know, there's a couple others that I enjoy, like the Russian map. I personally really enjoyed that map. But then you have maps like Azir Cave. And then you have even worse maps, like the bridge map. And then you go to the mansion map, which I think got removed in a recent update because of how bad it was. And yeah, you go to these maps and then you realize, man, this map design really needs some work. And this game could be so much better if the maps were so much better. And that is the fatal issue with the game. for, you know, you have a great framework. You have a Call of Duty multiplayer. It's really fun. It plays very well. But you need a good play space for it. You need a good map design for it. You need it to all flow together really well. You need it to be paced. You need enemies to be evenly distributed across the map. And when you take a map as large and unbalanced as Euphrates Bridge, and you take a map as unnecessarily big as the mansion map, it just takes all the fun out of it, and it just becomes a running simulator for most of the time. And that's really upsetting to me, because the game is really fucking good, but the maps hold it back. There are maps that are very good. Like I said, Grozny Raid, my favorite map of the game, and I think it's pretty well designed too. But there's like at least a third. I'm gonna say at least a third of the maps in this game are not good. The recent map they added, Shoot House, is pretty good, but I haven't played on it enough to come up with a verdict for it. I'm also deeply worried about how this game will be affected by its very, very upcoming microtransaction system. They said it was going to be a battle pass, and they said it was going to be all cosmetic, but I don't want to trust Activision, because they did this with Black Ops 4. I don't think they promised it would be cosmetics with Black Ops 4, but they did do some true fuckery with Black Ops 4, so I'm worried what Activision will try to do with Modern Warfare and its monetization system, but that's in the future, and we don't know what's really going to happen. When you watch this review, make sure you take this all in with the context of time. And I think that's all I have to say for the multiplayer. If you're looking for this game just for the multiplayer experience, I'd recommend picking it up, but not right now. I'd play other games while you wait, because the maps do need fixing, and the weapon balancing does still need fixing. But if you don't care about the map, go for it. The game is good. Oh yeah, and one more thing. Gunfight is underrated. Anyway, onto the single-player campaign. This game does bring back the single-player campaign, which was oddly omitted from Black Ops 4 to make room for the Battle Royale, which, you know, ended up being a bit of a gimmick. My thoughts on the single-player in general is good, but there are a lot of moments where I feel there was missed potential, especially with the story. It's clear that Infinity Ward wanted to take risks with Modern Warfare's campaign and cause some controversy in the same way that Modern Warfare 2, you know, the one from 2009, not the non-existent sequel to the soft reboot of Modern Warfare that came out in 2019. You know, it's very confusing, but, you know, it's a confusopoly, so this is what happens when you live in America. Anyway, back on track. The same way Modern Warfare 2's No Russian Mission caused controversy with its portrayal of a mass shooting terrorist attack, which I couldn't even imagine how it would be responded with today's media. But the risks they tried to take with this campaign felt pretty underwhelming at best. Any attempt to bring some controversial aspects of war and its horrors, along with war crimes committed in both sides. Yes, America does commit a lot of war crimes, if you didn't know. It all felt severely downplayed, and most of it came down to Russia bad, America good, and occupation bad when Russia do it, but when America does it, they're just helping us. Anyway, I don't want to get too politically preachy in this video, so I'll just leave it at that. The story did feel underwhelming when it came to its risks, but other than that, the story was pretty engaging, and I was interested in it, actually. Which I was surprised to be interested in it, because I didn't expect a Call of Duty... I know Call of Duty campaigns are well known for being good, but I thought it was well known for being good because of, you know, the missions. I didn't know they were actually good because of its engaging stories. And the missions are actually very good, too. It's far from realistic. It's the most realistic Call of Duty is going to get, but it's far from realistic. If you're looking for realistic military simulator, the closest you're going to get is Arma. But it felt, especially with the mission Clean House, that this game was going for realism, and it was going to take itself very seriously, which I appreciate. And it feels relieving too after this long period of time where Call of Duty games started to gradually feel like it was taking itself less seriously. Anyway, that's as far into the campaign as I'm gonna go. Characters were interesting. That's one last thing I'll say. Captain Price and the new characters I found interesting, especially with Captain Price because he's awesome. But yeah, that's all I'm going to tell you about the single player campaign because I want you to experience it for yourself. It is a fun campaign with some minor issues, but overall it's a fun campaign. And finally, I'm going to briefly tell you about the co-op mode. It's very weird. It is very, very strange. It was seeming to emulate Destiny 2's Strikes, which you know, Destiny 2 strikes are really fun, and you can do them over and over again and still have fun. These strikes, co-op Spec Ops missions felt like a chore. I'm talking about the operation missions, not the actual Spec Ops missions. Those are okay. Those are basic PvE. You know, it's like Left 4 Dead or something. It's okay. It's just basic PvE, and it's fine. But the operations feel needlessly difficult and just very, very, very strange with the objectives and, you know, how the enemies work. It is just very, very strange and uncomfortable and weird, and I don't want to play it. And that's really all I have to say about the co-op. I tried to put a lot of time into it, but it was just really weird and not fun. So this is definitely the weakest aspect of the whole game, the co-op missions. Especially the operations. They're very weird. Overall, I really enjoyed this game. I thought it was really fun, and I'm going to continue playing it because it's fun, but there are a lot of aspects that hold it back, and that's why I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. It's closer to an 8, and I really wanted to give it an 8, but the map design and the weird co-op and the poor weapon balancing and all just and the missed potential with the campaign, it all adds up and it bogs it down to a 7 when I really wanted to give it an 8. But it is a very good game, and I would recommend it if you're looking for some fun Call of Duty. Anyway, I'm sorry this video took very long. I was very lazy and I had school, but it's out now, and I rushed it out in a day. And I want to get ready for the next review because I'm really fucking excited for this game. And I played it actually, and I have a lot to say about it, and I want to get the review out because there is a lot to say about this game, and you can guess what game I'm talking about. Anyway guys, that'll do it. I know it wasn't a full-fledged review with all this cool editing and stuff, but I just wanted to get my opinion out quickly, except it wasn't done quickly, but whatever. I just wanted my opinion to get out there before it was too late. So I hope you guys liked the review. If you liked it, leave a like or dislike, I really don't care. And drop a subscription if you want to see more content from me. And anyway, this is Kobe. I'll see you guys in a week, I think. I think that's when the next review's coming out.